In the ongoing fiscal cliff negotiations, there are clear lines between Republicans and Democrats.
Now, Republicans say the debt and deficit should be dealt with by spending cuts. Democrats are pushing for a tax increase on the wealthiest Americans. Question is, where can the two sides compromise?
But complicating that is a pledge that nearly all Republican lawmakers have signed, saying they will never vote to raise your taxes.
Fox 6's Mike Lowe reports from Washington in tonight's Political Lowdown.
All 6 of Wisconsin's Republican congressional representatives, including U.S. Senator Ron Johnson, have signed Norquist's pledge. That pledge says that they will oppose tax increases in any and all forms. But now, with the reality of the fiscal cliff looming, some are willing to back away from that pledge.
Well, I have to represent the people of my district and do what's right.
U.S. Representative Tom Petrie's new district includes Sheboygan and Ozaukee counties. He says if the country is going to back away from the fiscal cliff, Republican lawmakers should back away from the Grover Norquist pledge.
I'm going to vote the way I think makes sense, not on something that Grover Norquist says or that was, I think, George Bush, when I dealt with that, was back in 1988, and his position and the Republican position was read my lips, no new taxes.
Read my lips, no new taxes.
The American people were very angry that he'd broken his commitment.
Norquist is the 56-year-old conservative lobbyist who heads the group Americans for Tax Reform. 219 House members and 39 senators have signed his pledge, saying they'll never vote to raise taxes.
What are we supposed to compromise with? I don't know the plan other than increasing taxes on the top 2%. It doesn't even come close to fixing the problem.
I think that they need to look out for the people of Wisconsin first, and their responsibility is not to serve at the feet of Grover Norquist, it's to serve the people of Wisconsin.
This is, in a sense, Exhibit A of what's wrong with American politics.
UWM professor Mordecai Lee says the problem is that hardened positions create an aversion to compromise.
We live in an era of ideology where it's almost like elections don't matter, results don't matter, polls don't matter. If I hold this ideology, whether it's left of center or right of center, then nothing changes regardless of the circumstances.
Hopefully, as this goes forward, we'll figure out either before we hit the cliff or after we hit the cliff some kind of a way forward that doesn't just kick the ball down the road.
Here at the U.S. Capitol building, 37 Republican House members say they're willing to go against Grover Norquist's pledge if it means resolving the fiscal crisis. Reporting outside the U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C., Mike Lowe, Fox 6 News.
Tomorrow, faith leaders are planning to demonstrate outside the Milwaukee offices of both Wisconsin's U.S. Senators, Democrat Herb Kohl and Republican Ron Johnson. They say there should be a compromise before the automatic tax increases and spending cuts actually kick in. It is all part of a coordinated day of action happening in 100 different cities around the country.
One moment, Tony Navarro.